So now we're going to delve a little bit deeper, seeing which one you fall into and how to improve upon that. So starting off with the floater, this is most likely someone that's new to coaching, big into fitness and trying to help others achieve their goals through their own experiences. So especially if this is your first coaching gig, it can be intimidating walking in the door for the first time. So if you're not confident on the floor, members may be confused or bored. So we're going to create your 3-step game plan here as we go through each of these avatars. So for the floater, it's take the first step. We say this to our green stars. The hardest part is getting through the door. And as a coach doing your first class, take that first step. Walk through that door onto the coaching floor, asking people, how are you feeling today? Get them before class, get them talking, get them comfortable with you. It'll make you comfortable with them. You're right until you say you're wrong. When you're talking to members, when you're dealing with members, you're the expert. Confidence is a skill, not a personality trait. When the members are coming in, whether they're trialists, whether they are long-term members, they've signed up, they've bought into what F45 has. So it's up to us as a coach to deliver that. So have the confidence in what we're doing, and we're going to give you all the tools to keep that going. You got to get your reps in. Talk to everyone around the room, make your way around, do it again, and then do it again. Don't be afraid to stick around for one set, more than one set. Really, we're working on technique, tips, encouragement. You only get more comfortable the more you do it. The yapper builds rapport. They know the members by name. It makes them feel comfortable having someone easy to talk to. But especially during working sets, too much conversation can be frustrating, can be a distraction, especially for members who are locked in, dialed in, ready to work. So going into this game plan, first thing, take a step back. When you're talking to members, are you educating them or are you distracting them? And they can't talk and focus at the same time. So if you're going to talk to them, they'll put the weight down and then they'll talk back, right? So use all 4 types of cues here. When you are talking to them, make sure those words count. Right? Keep it short, keep it concise, try not to distract, and then make sure what you are saying is going to be helpful, whether it's a form technique or anything like that. Leave the chatter on the track. Like I said, for the floater in the beginning, before class is the time where you get to know people, make introductions, talk with them, make them feel comfortable. And then once that buzzer is going to start, then it's game time for them and for us as coaches. The drill sergeant, it's that very intense personality. Can be loud, they can be direct, they can be motivational, and they do like to keep their team accountable for every rep. With that timer is green, we're working. But sometimes too much of that intensity can make members feel anxious, feel unsafe or overstimulated. Listen to yourself. Being too loud or intense can definitely shut down a member. You don't want to scare people off here, especially if it's their first class. Big energy isn't always good energy. Do members come up to you? Do they ask you for tips? Questions are a good indicator that the member feels comfortable and they trust your judgment. They trust what you say. So think about that. If they aren't coming up to you, adjust your style, adjust how you talk with them, adjust how you interact with them. If they are intimidated, members will avoid you. They'll show nervousness, discomfort. They won't look at you. They'll avoid that eye contact, hoping that you won't come by them. Keep in mind the body language of your members as you go through class. Now, for the cheerleader, another big presence in the room, very similar to the drill sergeant, just in that upbeat, high energy form, right? You can count on them to clap for at the end of class, clap at the end of the set. And while all of us need a certain amount of positivity, enthusiasm for this, if you're cheerleading too much, a class can become unstructured, not really focused on technique or form or weights, or they can become passive where the members are just going through the motions of whatever's on the TV screens. First thing, check your volume, right? When we're on the microphone, we don't want to blend in too much with the music going on, right? So find your sweet spot, whether it's a point of the song, whether it's just your volume overall. Count your woos. This is a good one. It's easy to fall back on being that positive reinforcement, but keep in mind that we want to speak with purpose. So there is a time and place for encouraging them to finish out that working set, but find your teaching moments. Big thing we always say, their red is our green. If you saw something that was off in their working set, right, it's always hard to do it while they're working out. Get in there while they have that 15-second break, that 20-second break. Get in your teaching cues. Get in what they should focus on that next set as they're getting ready for it. We want to be able to get into cue points with every member of that class. The athlete loves to do the workout. right next to the members, practice what they preach. If physical ability outweighs your one-to-one coaching, you may not be delivering the educational requirements of what we look for an F45 coach. So check your instincts. Like I was just saying, if you want to jump in right away, take a step back, see how you can coach this. Give verbal cues before jumping in and joining in for a burpee. If you have trouble with that, even track your interactions. See how many times you're feeling the urge to jump on the rower next to them and push their pace, right? Rather than sitting next to them, get the technique down. And in that, we want to explain the why they should keep going. We are functional training. So explain why we're going to be doing these moves to keep this going when we step out of the gym. Explaining the how. Safety first overall. So we always want to make sure members are performing the perfect form, the perfect execution. We are the experts. So more often than not, our form is the best form, but the members may not be able to just copy what we do. So that's where the other coaching side of it comes into play. So explain how to do it rather than just showing them how to do it. The teacher is a master of science and skill. No one leaves their class without learning something new. But if you don't balance your verbal cues with other coaching techniques, some members may be overloaded with information and may zone out. Group fitness must be energizing, right? We have that vibe. We bring that energy to each class. So don't get too caught up in that individual coaching, especially on those cardio days. You want to be able to energize that class on the macro level and also on the individual. Don't be a smart yapper. I can talk all day on different techniques, on different form functions, on everything like that. Does that member want to hear you talk about that for 40 seconds straight? Not necessarily. You want to choose your words wisely, choose what you want to say wisely, and make sure they get the message in that quick enough time. Be a forever student. Even the experts don't know everything, right? Never stop learning. This is why we do these continuing education webinars every Thursday that we'll do this. So whether you're a manager, whether you're a part-time coach, in every class you can learn something new. You can learn something new from a member, from a fellow coach. At the start of the webinar, I said be open-minded. That's where it is. Be a forever student. Keep learning. Even though you're the teacher, you're always a student. All right, this is going to wrap us up. The Renegade. They do enjoy fitness on their own, and maybe F45 is a side hustle that they just see as a paycheck or something like that. Of course, F45 is about community, is about positivity. The Renegade can look at alternative programming, will push their own agenda or whatever the case is. So we want to keep an eye on that for the Renegade. If you find yourself aligning with the Renegade, look in the mirror. If you don't want to be in class, if you don't want to be coaching class, members won't either. So going back to the start of what is your why of being a coach? I get back to that if you lost it. Get back to what's your why of wanting to lead others. Leaning into your community. Maybe as a renegade here, you're feeling like an outcast. The reason we're all here in F45 is we're investing in others because we've experienced on our own and we want to be able to lead that, share it. So investing in others is half the fun. If you feel disconnected, talk to your fellow coach, talk to your manager about what's going on. And then the last bit of it here, check your ego at the door. This goes back to a lot of different points we did with the avatars that we just talked about. Coaching can be the most rewarding job, doing it with the right attitude, learning, right? Be a student, be open to that criticism, work with your fellow coaches, work with your managers, work with your members. Our studios, they're our family, and checking your ego at the door is really going to help open your mind up, open your coaching style. So on your next class, whether that's in an hour, half hour for me, or whether that's tomorrow morning, observe your own behaviors during next class. Observe your own behaviors during class, how you interact with members, how you navigate around the room, dealing with the different class types, right? A 30-person class is much different coaching a 10-person class. So how you navigate around that, write down what your findings are, write down the positives and the negatives and see what we can work with. And the third one here, we just started up the challenge, right? First thing our challengers should be doing is creating a SMART goal, and we're helping them with it. And now it's our turn. Create a SMART goal for your coaching style. To connect with your manager on their thoughts of it as well, because this is going to be big on how you develop for your coaching avatar.
Thanks, Ian.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Ian. So many great nuggets. Appreciate you, buddy.
Thanks, Ian.